Creativity is something we all need as game developers. It is a skill that, while mostly is developed subconsciously and what feels like impossible to train, is actually quite the opposite. Creativity is a part of our brain that can be trained just like obtaining new knowledge, gaining muscle memory for new skills, or developing a more positive mindset. Today, I would like to help you find that inner creativity and help you understand just how important creativity can be for the success of your journey developing video games. The first piece of advice I'd like to briefly discuss is on the topic of staying inspired by others and using the opposite part of creativity and not using your imagination to become more creative. Sounds kind of weird as this is the first tip, but if you are stuck with bad ideas and failing to find uniqueness in your work, try to look at what others have done to inspire you and learn from their successes. Nintendo is a perfect example for a lot of aspiring indie devs. Every series in the company is unique and imaginative, while still replicating a similar charm and feel you may experience in their other titles. Find games, hobbies, and other media that inspire you and make you feel out of your normal routine or structure. Even if all we can accomplish is a mash of ideas from already existing projects, this would still give us a unique style in itself. My current indie game I'm developing, Monster Tribe, started as just another Pokemon-like game with some random elements that I enjoyed from other indie titles. Once you get an idea flowing, you will be much quicker to expand, as an idea you are already familiar with is much easier to develop over trying to reinvent the wheel every single time. As kids, we do not fully understand what the world is yet. As adults, we become more and more solidified in what we believe, and through repetition, we become more normalized to the outside world. I feel that as we age, we start to lose this freedom and imagination that we once had. However, I feel that this childlike freedom is key to successful ideas and also our own happiness. Being creative takes a lot of courage. Creativity is the ability to take risks and block out doubts when we leave the comfort zone of what we know. Our boundaries tend to shrink over time the longer we build up patterns and predict outcomes before they even happen. As humans, our time is limited, so we try and control everything down to a science or equation and leave our imagination behind. I understand we can't entertain all of our childlike wonders. The real world has limitations. However, video games do not. Anything is possible and everything can be fun. Go back to a mind of excitement and don't pressure yourself into coming up with the best ideas, as any idea can become a great one if executed correctly. Polish comes later, but creativity is where we plant our seed and where every game starts. While setting our limits to endless can be exciting, usually having too much can make us feel overwhelmed and lost. When we take the concept of everything and fine-tune it into something, we can unlock the ideas with purpose. A huge step in the right direction would be to try out some theme-based game creation events like game jams, and finding that one main overall theme to create an idea out of. We can do so much more when we focus on one specific idea, so make sure and limit what you are allowed to explore to make each thought more impactful. As I said before, game jams are a great way to entertain our creativity while still giving us a crutch to lean on and lead us down a specific path. Alternatively, maybe there is a specific game genre that you are just a huge fan of and want to use that as a base instead. Themes and genres are definitely a great place to start in this kind of brainstorming phase, but try other foundations as well, like a hobby you enjoy or a feeling or theme you want the player to uncover while playing through your experience. To wrap all of these concepts together, I want to talk about using reflection to help keep you on your path and find the purpose behind your work. Maybe I'm biased as I recently picked up journaling and writing as a hobby, but I do believe that constantly checking in with your past ideas and goals will help you achieve the result you want. When we forget to look back and just keep adding to our project, this is how scope creep is manifested, and also how we lose our focus on what we want to create. I won't go into scope creep too much, as I think that would require an entire video all on its own, but making sure you are constantly looking back at what you want the game to be at its core is important to not have a mess of a game in the end. I think what separates the aspiring from the successful is that a lot of times developers get stuck just developing their game. They want to add as many features as they can think of would improve their game, and they forget what the identity of the game is altogether. An indie game, especially, is not about creating your dream game. It's not about creating the product of everything you enjoy in a video game, but finding what makes your project its own experience and developing that idea as well planned out as possible. Sure, adding a new ability to your combat or wall jumping might seem easy to add in and will just add to the player's experience. But as I said previously, sometimes limiting our options can make each decision more impactful and entertaining. Be sure you are understanding exactly why every control and mechanic is introduced, and reflect on if this helps seek out the true vision you have in your mind. Games will always evolve and change during the development process. Just be confident you are making changes for the better and for the right reasons. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video, and hopefully you have gotten a slight new perspective or learned something to make your journey a little bit easier and more fine-tuned. Keep progressing and make sure to like the video if you found it helpful, and subscribe to the channel for more game development content like this soon. Remember to look through your childlike eye from time to time to keep things interesting and stay inspired from the simplest things in life.